A life that never gave up. At the age of 70, the old woman sat quietly beside her fireplace, her hands resting gently in her lap. Her face was marked with deep lines, not of weakness, but of strength. Each wrinkle was proof of a life lived with courage, patience, and hope. The fire beside her burned steadily, just like the spirit inside her. She had not lived an easy life. As a young woman, she had faced hardship early. Dreams were delayed, plans were broken, and many times she had to stand alone when no one else stood with her. But she never allowed life to make her bitter. Instead, she chose to grow stronger with every challenge. This small cottage was built through years of hard work. She cleaned, cooked, worked in fields, and sometimes went to bed tired and hungry, but she never gave up. When she lost loved ones, she cried, but she did not stop living. When life tested her patience, she learned to wait. When doors closed, she learned to build new ones. People often thought she was lonely. They did not understand that peace comes from accepting who you are and where you are. She found happiness in small things, the sound of birds in the morning, the warmth of fire in winter, and the comfort of books that taught her wisdom. She believed success was not about wealth, but about surviving with dignity. Young people from nearby villages sometimes visited her. They asked her how she stayed strong for so long. She smiled and said, "Life bends everyone. Strength is choosing not to break." Her words stayed with them long after they left. As evening arrived, she looked into the fire and felt proud, not because life was perfect, but because she never stopped trying. She had failed, fallen, and suffered, yet she stood again every time. Her life was a message: no matter how old you are, no matter how hard life becomes, it is never too late to be strong. Long ago, when fear ruled the village, they had cast her out, accusing her of bringing misfortune. She did not curse them. She simply stayed. She tended the hearth that once warmed everyone, even when no one came back for its comfort. Each night, she fed the fire with patience, memory, and restraint. And each night, the fire spared the village, even as it consumed her solitude. On the final night, when the hearth finally went cold, the village awoke to an unfamiliar chill. Homes cracked, fires failed, and darkness crept into every corner. Only then did they understand that protection is often silent, and guardians rarely ask for gratitude. By the time they reached her door, the woman was gone, leaving behind ashes that glowed faintly, like a warning and a gift. The moral of her story is simple but heavy: those who protect us are often the ones we fear, ignore, or abandon. When kindness is mistaken for weakness and difference is punished instead of understood, we lose more than we realize. The warmth we take for granted may be sustained by someone else's sacrifice. The woman by the hearth teaches us that restraint is more powerful than revenge, and endurance stronger than anger. She could have let the fire rage and destroy, yet she chose balance. In a world quick to judge, her silence was an act of mercy. So remember this when you feel safe without knowing why, when storms pass without explanation, when warmth remains though no one tends it. Look closely at those who sit quietly at the edge of the fire. Some flames burn not to destroy, but to protect.